Oh my goodness, I'm so happy you asked. Tayiana Taylor winning that Golden Globe is the same reason why Halle Berry is the only black woman, or one of the few black women, with a Best Actress Oscar. Halle Berry won for Monsters Ball, and the theory behind why she won is the fact that she was a black woman being fetishized by a white man with a father. Tayiana Taylor's character in One Battle After Another is basically,
no one could have anticipated this. Just weeks ago, the tension between Pierre and Tayiana Taylor seemed to be settling into quiet distance, the remnants of a breakup that had unfolded largely out of public view. The world had begun to move on, filling the space with speculation about what Tayiana would do next. Aaron, for his part, offered only measured words in interviews, cryptic, restrained, a fragile attempt to preserve dignity. You don't stop loving someone just because they make a new choice. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Then the choice became visible, and with it, a name that carried weight beyond the ordinary, a presence so formidable that even seasoned industry observers paused. Leonardo DiCaprio. A figure of both acclaim and careful discretion, his association with Tayiana Taylor marked a turning point in a narrative that had long been private. The revelation rippled through the public sphere. Social media became a stage for fragments of expression, images, muted commentary, the quiet signals of disquiet, and the response from Aaron, who had tried to maintain composure, shifted into something more intense. Reports suggest that private communications began to surface, old messages circulated, and glimpses of personal content once confined to ephemeral accounts emerged into view. Questions lingered. What had Aaron truly felt? What had transpired in the space between public perception and private reality? How had Tayiana and Leonardo crossed paths? And what did it mean that this connection had taken root while another story was still unresolved? Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. To understand the unfolding of this triangle, it is necessary to trace the contours of their history. Once celebrated as a pair whose presence seemed almost inseparable, Tayiana and Aaron were observed moving through public life with an ease that suggested harmony. Red carpets, shared imagery, subtle intimacies on social media all hinted at a rare synchrony. Yet beneath the surface, sources close to the individuals indicate a more complex reality. What appeared outwardly seamless was, in private, fraught with tension. Tayiana reportedly struggled against the contours of control, a sense of confinement in the shaping of her public image. Aaron, increasingly absorbed by successive professional commitments, became distant, emotionally absent, and, at times, protective to the point of possessiveness. The nuances of influence and autonomy began to shift, small gestures and comments accruing weight in ways unseen by those outside their circle. Public markers, a solo appearance at a fashion event in Paris, a cryptic caption, hinted at the fracture between perception and lived experience. Rumors began to circulate, tentative and unconfirmed, whispers of separation that had taken place quietly, without announcement. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Yet the full measure of the change was not visible until Tayiana's private world intersected with Leonardo DiCaprio's. The first encounter, as reconstructed from those present, was unassuming, a shared space at an after-party, moments of recognition and attention that were understated but resonant. Nothing immediate defined the encounter as consequential, yet the resonance persisted. Subsequent meetings, in settings far removed from public scrutiny, allowed a connection to grow, unobserved and unmediated. Meanwhile, Aaron's awareness of this emerging relationship did not come from Tayiana herself, but through intermediaries, fragments of insight from those working closely with her. The information arrived slowly, and with it, a profound disorientation. He withdrew, retreating from public obligations, his social expressions hinting at despair, at the unspoken struggle of witnessing change and loss, while still holding hope that what had ended might be reclaimed. The culmination of these hidden movements was captured in a single image, Tayiana and Leonardo, hand in hand, in a quiet, dimly lit space. No explanation accompanied the image, no commentary offered to soften its meaning. The clarity of that moment, subtle yet irrevocable, marked the shift from speculation to undeniable reality, a juncture at which private grief, public attention, and personal evolution converged. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. It was in that quiet moment that everything shifted. What had been a breakup, a private unraveling, began to take on the weight of confrontation. The photograph of Tayiana and Leonardo, hand in hand in Venice, was not accompanied by explanation or pretense. Its absence of commentary made it undeniable, a choice made visible. And Aaron's response, measured by observation and those closest to him, was profound. A stylist recalled him staring at his phone for long, silent minutes, unblinking, before rising and speaking softly, almost to himself, of the sense of inevitability he now felt. Later that evening, he appeared briefly on a private social media account, one followed only by a small circle of colleagues and acquaintances. Even there, the impact of his words, though careful in their omission of names, quickly spread. Fragments were shared, recorded, circulated. The message was clear in its undercurrent. A profound sense of displacement, of being replaced, of watching a connection he valued redefined in ways he could neither control nor reconcile. In the days that followed, certain communications between Tayiana and Aaron surfaced, bringing into focus aspects of their private interactions. Early observations of her impressions, as recorded in these messages, suggested caution, uncertainty, and restraint. The public's interpretation was swift, dividing opinion and inviting scrutiny. Yet amid this, others emerged with reminders that the story had dimensions unseen, associates who offered context, emphasizing the care and caution Tayiana exercised in navigating her own choices. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Within this shifting landscape, patterns of perception and influence became more visible. Public discourse began to question motive and intent, to weigh loyalty against self-determination. Leonardo remained absent from commentary, his silence deliberate, leaving the unfolding narrative largely in the hands of those directly affected. Behind the scenes, attention was given to the management of information, to how the story might unfold in a way that did not escalate into spectacle. But the reach of events had already extended beyond any control. As journalists and observers examined the past, previously private decisions were reconsidered. The pacing of Tayiana's career, moments of opportunity deferred or declined, were reframed in light of evolving circumstances. Choices once private took on new significance, revealing the delicate balance between support, influence, and autonomy. And when external voices, including former partners, began to offer their own recollections, the picture grew more complex. Questions arose not of culpability alone, but of timing, of the intersection between personal freedom and relational expectation. Among the most revealing fragments was a voice note, raw and unguarded, capturing an outpouring of frustration and anguish. Its words, marked by tension and regret, spoke to fear, to the perception of loss, to the challenge of witnessing someone move beyond the constraints of shared history. It was, in its quiet intensity, a moment that crystallized the emotional cost of these relationships, the psychological weight carried in silence, in restraint, and in decisions deferred until they could no longer be contained. The triangle was far from resolved. Just as it seemed Aaron had reached a breaking point, an anonymous voice emerged, offering what was described as Tayiana's leverage, a perspective unseen. The message arrived as a brief, unadorned voice note sent to a trusted entertainment channel. Calm at first, measured in tone, it carried an unsettling weight beneath its quiet delivery. The account recounted experiences from Aaron's past work, suggesting a pattern of control and influence over those closest to him, subtle, persistent, and quietly corrosive. Relationships, the note implied, could become sites where autonomy was constrained, confidence tested, and creative energy constrained. It was not violence, not confrontation in the visible sense, but a more insidious form of restriction, exercised through emotional pressure, persuasion, and strategic charm. Most striking, perhaps, was the revelation of Tayiana's own project, a documentary she had begun and then set aside. Footage, carefully documented, was said to chronicle her sense of entrapment, moments of vulnerability observed and leveraged, and the silent compromises made to navigate an environment fraught with expectation and influence. She chose, for reasons known only to her, to remain quiet, shelving the work in the weeks before her final public appearances with Aaron. In that silence, the complexity of her decisions became evident, a negotiation between personal truth, safety, and professional consequence. The narrative shifted further when Leonardo DiCaprio made a quiet, deliberate appearance at a women-led film premiere in New York. He offered no statement, no overt attention, yet his presence carried a clear message and alignment with voices and creators historically overlooked, a subtle repositioning of influence. The cameras documented him, but the meaning lay in the absence of words, a strategic support, unspoken but unmistakable. Soon after, Tayiana re-emerged, not in interviews or statements, but with a trailer, Silent Thunder Reclaimed. Its stark presentation, black background, and simple title suggested a reclamation, a return to a story she had once paused. Social media responded almost immediately, speculating on the contents of a work that might finally give shape to her experience. Leaked production notes hinted at revisions, new narration, and perhaps collaboration with Leonardo himself, a signal that control over her narrative was being restored, carefully, intentionally. Aaron remained silent publicly, issuing a statement emphasizing distance and personal reflection. Yet others in Tayiana's circle were not quiet. Fatima Robinson, a long-term creative partner, posted a retrospective image with a pointed caption, "We've always moved in silence, but when the storm clears, let them see the thunder." Implicit in the statement was a warning. The story was far from finished, and the work to follow would reshape understanding. An emerging report suggested that Silent Thunder Reclaimed would not be a singular statement, but the first of a series. Each installment would explore the experience of artists navigating unseen pressures, examining the subtle constraints of power, control, and emotional manipulation in the industry. Already, this moment had begun to frame a broader conversation, questioning how the public perceives relationships, influence, and agency in creative spaces. Within this evolving landscape, Leonardo's role appeared less as celebrity witness and more as an amplifier for voices historically silenced. Meanwhile, Aaron's trajectory shifted. Projects were delayed, support receded, and narratives of personal reflection and wellness took precedence over professional visibility. The consequences, quiet but undeniable, underscored the broader implications of choice, autonomy, and the intricate dynamics that unfold behind the carefully curated facades of public life. The consequences were already unfolding. Tayiana's presence was rising, deliberate, and controlled. Leonardo's protection was quiet but unmistakable, and Aaron, increasingly isolated, faced the mounting weight of a reckoning he could no longer avoid. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. The battleground emerged first where public attention always gathers: social media. Within minutes of the Silent Thunder Reclaimed teaser going live, the timeline flooded with tens of thousands of reactions, tweets, quote tweets, threads, think pieces, each voice a reflection of the confusion, curiosity, and judgment surrounding the unfolding story. Hashtag Team Aaron appeared first, loud and emotional. Critics questioned the morality of Tayiana's choices, framed her movement toward Leonardo as betrayal, and read the narrative through the lens of loyalty and loss. But the defenses of Tayiana were more organized, more sustained. Writers, dancers, filmmakers, and other creatives spoke to the pressures of visibility, the constraints placed on ambition, and the quiet compromises demanded by a system that too often silences those it claims to celebrate. One viral commentary captured the shift succinctly. Aaron did not lose her to another man. He lost her to the version of herself she would no longer suppress. Fan-made edits amplified this interpretation, juxtaposing archival visuals of Tayiana's performances with cinematic imagery, reinforcing a narrative of resilience and self-possession. Even prominent artists contributed to the discourse. Keke Palmer referenced Maya Angelou, "There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you." Janelle Monáe emphasized autonomy. "When a woman chooses herself, expect earthquakes." Doja Cat offered a more chaotic but resonant reflection. noting the symbolic power of Tayiana's choices. Meanwhile, the industry recalibrated behind the scenes. Reports surfaced that a major luxury brand severed ties with Aaron, citing instability and negative attention. Public statements framed the shift as a matter of mental health and personal focus, but the phrasing, mental well-being, only amplified speculation about the depth of his professional and emotional fallout. Coverage expanded quickly. Entertainment news programs dissected the narrative, analyzing choices, reputations, and the subtle but visible fractures within power dynamics. Public discourse reflected broader cultural debates, the visibility of women reclaiming their stories, the expectations imposed on artists, and the ways in which private experiences become public spectacle. Conservative commentators attempted to recast Tayiana's agency as moral transgression, but the reach of their framing was limited. Social media had already established the story's dominant trajectory. Leaked details further complicated the narrative. An anonymous source suggested early footage for Silent Thunder captured Aaron acknowledging past actions, apologies, admissions of gaslighting, moments of vulnerability caught on camera. Whether these materials remain part of the final release is uncertain, but their existence underscored the emotional and psychological stakes that had long been concealed from public view. The core of the story had shifted. It was no longer a tale of a love triangle or a spurned ex. It was the story of a woman negotiating the weight of silence, reclaiming her autonomy, and asserting her voice against forces that sought to suppress it. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. As the documentary's release approached, the tides of public opinion continued to evolve. Former supporters of Aaron distanced themselves, fan pages recontextualized their content, and subtle endorsements of Tayiana appeared in the actions of other artists. Leonardo remained silent, but his silence was deliberate, strategic, allowing Tayiana to occupy the narrative fully, her voice unmitigated by distraction or interference. The story, once confined to private pain and whispered rumors, had entered a new phase. The trajectory was clear: one woman's reclamation of agency, the consequences for those who sought to contain her, and the quiet yet profound shift in the balance of power now observed by millions. Then came a new perspective, one that reframed the entire story. Nenah S, Tayiana's former assistant, who had vanished from the public eye nearly 2 years earlier after a rumored falling out, returned quietly, but with undeniable evidence. On a 14-minute Instagram live, she spoke with measured intensity, her voice a mixture of sorrow and resolve. "I'm not here to defend or destroy anyone," she said, tears visible. "I'm here because I watched a strong woman almost lose herself. And I watched a man pretend he was the one being abandoned when really he was the one doing the breaking." Within that statement was a tremor that would ripple across the internet. Nenah revealed an unreleased audio recording from a night of confrontation between Tayiana and Aaron. In the clip, Tayiana's cries were barely audible over his voice, angry, panicked, possessive. "You don't walk away from me. You don't get to leave when I gave you everything. If you go, I swear I'll make sure they see you the way I see you. You'll never be their hero again." Even in fragments, the audio carried the weight of control, of fear, of coercion cloaked in emotion. Legal teams declined comment, but close friends whispered cryptic confirmations. She was afraid, and the world took notice. Then came the turn toward the future. A verified entertainment insider revealed that Leonardo DiCaprio's production company had extended a first-look deal to Tayiana. Silent Thunder reclaimed would only be the beginning. The arrangement guaranteed her resources, distribution, and editorial autonomy, an unprecedented opportunity to illuminate not just her story, but the hidden realities of an industry built on appearances. The implications were profound. The narrative had shifted from heartbreak to agency, from scandal to transformation. Aaron, meanwhile, receded. His social media presence dwindled, engagement dropped, projects were delayed, and whispers of professional consequences circulated within the industry. Tayiana's trajectory, by contrast, surged. Her teaser amassed tens of millions of views. The hashtag movement surrounding her project dominated social platforms. Streaming services adjusted release schedules to accommodate the anticipated impact of her documentary. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. A final note, allegedly from Leonardo to Tayiana, captured the moment's significance. They tried to silence your story. Now it's your time to be the storm. It was a quiet affirmation, yet it resonated like a declaration. The era of control, of quiet compromise, of suppressed truths was coming to an end. Tayiana's journey was no longer simply one of survival or personal vindication. She was reclaiming her narrative, asserting her creative authority, and confronting systemic patterns of manipulation. Leonardo's involvement was subtle but decisive, amplifying the work without overshadowing it. And yet, the story was far from complete. If Nenah's revelations were authentic, if further footage exists, if Tayiana's project contains the depth and candor suggested by these early signals, then Silent Thunder Reclaimed is only the opening chapter. Questions remain: what truly transpired behind closed doors? How much power had been wielded, and at what cost? Could Tayiana have exposed the truth sooner, or did her silence protect her from deeper consequences? And what of Aaron, whose choices and responses now face scrutiny, not just from the public, but from an industry unwilling to tolerate instability? This is a narrative still in motion. The stakes extend beyond celebrity or spectacle. They touch on autonomy, accountability, and the courage required to speak in a system designed for silence. Tayiana Taylor is no longer a participant in the story. She is its author, and the world is only beginning to hear her voice. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss any of our upcoming videos.